好
Can you see me okay?
So I will have the Zoom recording so that the people they can view later. So I want to introduce my teacher, Paul Heussenstamm. 我想介绍一下我的心灵曼陀罗的老师。我们是在2001年认识他的，然后我们很觉得心灵曼陀罗是一个非常好的工具，所以我们就开始使用这个工具，到现在已经用了20几年。那么破老师他本身是国际非常知名的心灵曼陀罗的一个画家吧，一个专家。然后他主要是在美国工作，然后在美国、加拿大还有欧洲，那么到亚洲来很多的时间。那我们想借着这一次，我们办这一次一个分享会让大家更加了解心灵曼陀罗是什么而且这个就是在我们现在是进入我们的这样子，等一下我安静静音一下，对。然后对我们来讲呢，今年是我们中心的23周年，也就是在2000年我们开始成立光行者中心。那在2000年成立的时候呢，我们就开始很多的New Age 的活动。然后我们真正认识Paul老师在2001年的因为2000年我们有位好姐妹Anna张，她在介绍她就将心灵曼陀罗这一个很好的一个与心连结的一个动态静心的活动介绍给我们。然后我们知道我们的师姐 Anna 张是在美国上的课，所以在2001年我们就开始办这心灵曼陀罗，然后办到现在已经第22年了。那也是我们的其中一个最核心的一个课程。那我们本身非常很开心有这个机会可以和老师学习那么我现在就将这个时间就交给我们的Paul老师 OK。 So Paul, I just have the roughly introduction of you for you. So would you like to share with any of your wisdom and the teaching for the soul mandala?
So
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 would you like to turn on the camera? 所以请大家尽量打开镜头，我们跟老师有个互动，如果方便的话，好吗？谢谢。
So do I just press that little icon? My camera's not on?
No, your camera is not on. I hear you, but I didn't see your face.
Okay, how do I get the thing to turn on?
I remember that you said that you want to use the iPhone, yeah, instead of the laptop, yes, so that you can move in your studio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to turn the camera on. Do I press Zoom? Start video?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, let's see that.
Yeah, we see you. Yeah, we see you. Yes, Paul. Yeah, okay. Welcome, Paul, to share with us. So this is the first time that you have the Zoom with us, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, 大家睇到我哋Paul老師I hear the music of Chinese music, right? Is that you?
Not me.
No, not you. Okay. How? So let's welcome Paul. Yeah.
Namaste. Can you
Namaste.
see me all right?
Yes, we can. I can see you. Yes, namaste.
Yeah, where I look, I don't know the camera. I'm looking off in the side, but hey, Santa, I just want to say how much I've enjoyed you over the years. You know, we've been friends probably for 15 years.
Yes.
And how much Hong Kong was a place I went every year for maybe at least 10 straight years. And I had some very, very good friends there. And I'm looking forward to coming back and reestablishing our friendship. So that's the first thing I want to thank you for always. Just so you know, Santa's always calling. She wants me to come, and she's really always really nice. And I really appreciate your friendship, Santa. So
yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for
the one thing I
feedback.
I assume everybody's painted a mandala in your group. Has everybody painted a mandala?
I think in this group, I'm not sure because the people they join tonight because we are inviting more people to join. I think actually, we have the mini workshop, like one evening workshop, painting the small mandala. Do you remember I showed you the picture? Yeah.
Yes.
And Kenneth and Pamela, they joined the small baby mandala. We call them baby mandala. And other than that, the other people, they have not joined the mandala. Because for the mandala, we have like a baby mandala and 1 day mandala, 2 days mandala. Yes.
Okay, so for all of you are listening that I can't really tell you, I'm going to try how important it is it's been for my life, and it may be in the future for your life, that a mandala painting is. You see, it's just all art is spiritual, but the mandala is a special kind of spiritual that focuses on meditation. So if you're starting to paint a mandala and you start off with a baby mandala, what that can do for you is give you a way to go places and see places inside yourself and discover things about yourself that without the mandala you couldn't do. So what I'm saying is that if you start painting and then you continue to paint, the mandala will become your practice, just like a yoga practice or just like a meditation practice. And a mandala changes lives. If you look at my life from when I was younger, and I used to own surf shops, and then when I started painting mandalas, everything changed. And when I was doing something in the very beginning, people that were older were telling me, Paul, these mandalas are going to take you all over the world. And I went, no, I'm just a little artist in Laguna Beach. And then they were right, because the mandala changed my entire life. And a couple of things about the mandala that's really important. It is like a mirror. So if you're starting to paint mandalas, it's a way to start to see inside yourself. And for what artists do is we take our eyes and we turn them inside or out, and we look inside. And from the inside out comes creativity, out comes beauty, out comes a deeper relationship with your own soul. So painting a little mandala at first seems like a fun little art project, but if you continue it down the road, it can become a very, very inspirational, a very deep connection between you and a part of you that I would call the soul. Because we all know we have a soul, but the thing about mandala painting is you connect with your soul and your soul communicates with you. It's kind of like something inside you is guiding you. It feels like a guide. So mandala art is much more than just art. It's a spiritual path. And when you're painting mandalas, whether you're listening to music, talking to friends, have a TV on in the background, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're sitting there and you're focusing on a mandala. And one of the things about mandalas that I like is when you're painting, you're always 100% focused. You can't be unfocused, because if you're unfocused, you can't paint a straight line, or you can't paint a little area where you're trying to paint. So when I was younger and learning this stuff, I didn't realize at first how much it was changing me, because I could see things, I could feel things, I could know things that without the mandala, I couldn't have. So it's the mandala is kind of a doorway into your greater self, into your creativity. And for some people, once they start to paint, they thought of themselves before as not very creative, but what they do is they find out that they're very creative and they can naturally become artists. And it's all about opening up what I call your heart and your heart chakra, because in my experience, the art comes from your heart. So if you think about that, what if you could open up your own heart and share it with your friends and the world? Well, when you start painting mandalas, that's exactly what you're starting to do. You're starting to reach inside yourself and bring out color, bring out form, bring out shapes, bring out images that you're very comfortable with. And so when I was younger, before I was an artist, I started painting about 32, 33. After years of not painting at all, I was in art college and an art major, and then I got into business for many, many years. But once I started to paint mandalas, I could feel myself start to change. And so the value of it for me is it's given me, one of the main things is it's given me a relationship with myself. It's also given me a spiritual teacher, because the mandala will become your teacher. You will learn a lot from mandalas and mandala paintings. I would say to all of you, if you continue and you paint mandalas, then in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, you'll be a different person, more creative, more in touch with your feelings, more of a relationship with your friends, your family, and then ultimately more of a relationship with the divine, or with whatever you call God, or the higher power, or something that you're in touch with. This kind of painting, this spiritual painting, really opens up an avenue or a venue for a life change. Do you want to interpret that, Santa, in Chinese?
Yeah, I think you
Go ahead.
already.
That's a lot, but you can
Yes,
sum it up.
yes, I think you have spoken a lot. I think people maybe they don't need my translation. 我想问一下哈，我想问一下需要翻译的举手，因为老师讲了很多哈，需要翻译的举手，然后我再重点翻译一下好吗？那如果英文都不需要翻译，那我们就直接进入主题，请老师继续分享好吗？ I think people they don't raise their hands, so we don't need translation. I think.
Okay.
I think that's good. We can speed up. Yes.
I'm showing you a beautiful mandala behind me. Can you see it okay?
大家看，这是老师的漂亮的曼陀罗了。Now you can keep on talking, so we can see you on the full screen.
Yeah. So that's kind of the what I've been.
Yeah, can you show again for the painting you just showed? Because when I was speaking, we cannot see your full screen. Now you can talk. Yeah, please talk, so we can see the full screen of your painting, please.
Yeah, that's one I'm working on. I don't know if you all know who Deepak Chopra is, but many years.
Well, yeah, I can make a stop here. 其實有一個美國好出名嘅作家叫 Deepak Chopra， 中文叫喬布拉哈，他在美國有個喬布拉中心 Chopra Center。那麼破老師，我在那個介紹老師的那段短的文章裡面有寫到，老師是 Chopra Center 的一個常駐的一個曼陀羅的心靈曼陀羅的老師。Okay, yes.
Right. So that painting behind us, I'm painting because Deepak Chopra is retiring, and I've been teaching with him and being around him for over 25 years. So back to what I was saying about mandalas is that when I started to do these things and started to make the paintings, I made a painting for a man, and he said I should come down and meet Deepak Chopra because he worked with Deepak Chopra. And so I went down there. I drove down when he just opened up his first center, and I showed him my mandalas and my paintings. And he said, I'd like you to be part of the center. So if I wasn't painting with mandalas, this would have never happened. And the painting behind me, he's having his last seminar on the big island of Hawaii. And I'm going in the next 2 weeks to his last seminar. But the beautiful thing was, all the years I've been showing art there, lots and lots of people have bought mandalas. I've explained to them about how mandalas affected my life. And just look at the beauty of that. If I wasn't painting like that, then I never would have met Deepak Chopra or Eckhart Tolle or Carolyn Meese or a lot of these famous spiritual people, because it's all the mandala. The mandala has taken me all over the world, has changed my life. I'm working on painting mandalas, pretty much every day. I love doing it. I never get tired of it. It makes me feel young. And the paintings they're always beautiful. If the process, once you learn the process of really letting yourself go and letting the painting come forward, I'm so lucky, because it's like I have a friend that I can go through life. And the mandala just allows me to go places in the world. It allows me to be conscious. It allows me to have my heart open to people. And I just can't tell you how important it is. It's like my soul loves painting mandalas. And so for the last 33 years, this has been my life. And it's been a life that's full and a lot of joy and love and a lot of travel. I've gone from one end of the earth, from Turkey, and then all the way around to where you are in Hong Kong or where else you are in the world. Last count, I stopped counting after 51. I sold mandalas to over 61 countries around the world. And I taught it over 50 cities. So this is all because of the beauty of the mandala and its ability to transform an individual. If you're interested in becoming conscious, we all need a way. You know, you need a spiritual teacher, you need a spiritual path, but you also need a practice. And the practice for me is painting mandalas because it's the same thing as meditation. So if I'm in my studio for 6 or 8 hours, that's like meditating for 6 or 8 hours. It's really a beautiful, beautiful practice. And you just never know what the next mandala is going to be, or what the next painting is going to be, or what the next person that's going to come along. I mean, I sell a lot of art out of my studio. People come to my studio to visit or take a workshop, and they take home paintings because they get the vibe. There's a vibration in mandala paintings. It's a transformative change that happens to a person that's painting. So that's a good start. Anything you want to know, Santa, or should I continue on? What would you like to know?
OK， 到呢度大家有啲咩問題哈？我不曉得今天參加的同學是不是講廣東話或者是國語都可以。那我會用2個語言，想問一下大家有什麼問題，大家可以舉手。老師剛才有介紹他曼陀羅心靈曼陀羅怎麼樣改變他的生命，而且他就是剛剛講了他很多那些很豐富的生命的一個足跡吧。那麼大家有啲咩問題想問嚇？大家可以舉手。如果大家方便咧，希望大家再開鏡頭，如果方便嘅話，係啦。大家有啲咩問題想問咧？想問老師？
可以，但係唔係話好食。
佢嗰啲係日本米嚟嘅啲飯就
飯唔錯。
想問一下大家有冇問題想問 ？David 係咪有嘢想問？係啦 ，David。Now I see that people they don't have any other question, so maybe you continue first.
Okay.
Hi, Paul. Yes.
So let's start with a little bit of the very beginning for me. People always ask, well, how did you find the mandala? Well, it was a very interesting, kind of amazing moment, because I signed up for a spiritual workshop in the mountains. I had a teacher, Brew Joy, a wonderful teacher. And he said there was a very, very creative workshop and there would be artists there. And so I signed up for it. And I hadn't painted one mandala. And I didn't plan on painting a mandala. And so I went to this little workshop, and there was 11 people, so 10 plus me. And there was 2 very, very famous people in there, 2 actresses. There was one, Carrie Fisher, who was Princess Leia in the Star Wars. And it was right in the middle of Star Wars. So we called her Princess, of course. And then the other one was Barbara Streisand, who at that time was the most famous singer in the world. I mean, you have to go back. This is the early 80s, 1980s. And I was there. And that week, I didn't say a lot. What I did is I went to my room and I practiced painting my first mandala. And it has a funny name. It was called compensatory patterns. So what that means is one and the other. You can't have one without the other. It's like the yin and the yang. And so that was the name of the painting. And I did it at the workshop, and at the very workshop, I had it on the floor, and I pulled a cloth over it. I unveiled it for the group in the middle of the circle, and people didn't talk for 5 minutes. They were kind of stunned. Of course, we'd been meditating for 10 days, but people were kind of stunned. And then the teacher wound up buying the painting. Barbara Streisand asked me for a painting, and there was a doctor in the group too, who asked for a painting. So the very first moment I did my first mandala, I sold 2 other mandalas in the next 5 minutes. So that started right there with those 2 famous women. And so a little bit about that. I look back now, and this was my soul. This was giving me the relationship with very creative, very spiritual women. And what I mean there is that it's my own feminine inside. The way I see things is the mind is masculine. Even in English, the word mind means man, means masculine. And then the feminine, which is the heart. Before I was painting, I was only concentrating on this. Once I started to paint, and just so you know, the center of mandalas is your heart center. All mandalas, it doesn't matter what color they are, because your heart center is the center of all centers. So, and that's part of the mystery of the mandala. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. If you're painting mandalas, your heart center is connecting up with everybody else that's painting, and you're opening up your heart center. And that's what happened to me in that workshop. It opened up my heart center, which is, as I was saying, it's the feminine part of your body. This is the feminine part. This is the masculine part. So when you look at somebody that's in a spiritual practice, in a monastery setting, they usually don't need a partner, like a man doesn't need a woman, because they're having a love affair. And that's what this is becoming the feminine, and this is the masculine, as I was saying, and these two fall in love with each other. This is the masculine and the heart center falling in love with each other. And if that happens, you don't need somebody on the outside, because the feminine and the heart and the masculine mind are in union. So when I started to have these very, very kind of famous females around, and I'll tell you another story in a minute, it was me getting in touch with my feminine, my creative feminine, rather than the masculine, which is at that time I still own 2 stores. I own these surf shops. And so that was an amazing workshop. I painted a painting. I sold the painting. I had 2 other orders. People commissioned me at the time. So I went up after that. I went up to Los Angeles, and you have to remember back, there was no internet in those days. There was no cell phones. So I drove up to Los Angeles, and there was a spiritual bookstore, and it was a very famous spiritual bookstore. And in that bookstore, it only had spiritual art, and then all around spiritual books, and then all around the top part of the bookstore was famous gurus like Sai Baba, or Amaji. They're up all over the walls. And so I went up there, and I wanted to buy every book on mandalas, because I just discovered a mandala and I wanted to learn, and there was only 4. Now there's lots and lots of books, but in those days, in the 80s, there was 4. And so I was looking through the books, which I bought, and there was one that was a big, thick notebook, like a 3-ling notebook, but it was somebody's master's thesis. I translate that, master's thesis, if you've gone back to school after you've graduated from college, and the next degree you get is a master's degree. So there was this woman, and I read her book. There was this woman, and it starts off sad, but it ends good, who was very wealthy, and her husband died of cancer. And on the way home from the funeral, her only son got in a car wreck, and he was killed too. So it starts off sad. And then what happened is that she had painted mandalas for 2 years to heal herself. So she wrote a master's thesis on healing through mandalas. And she really had something to heal about. I mean, that I can't imagine how much pain that was for her to go through that. But so I read her book, and her name was Dr. Beverly Schaefer. I'll always remember that. I read her book, and in the back of it was a phone number. So I called the number. You know, now you have to remember back what I'm saying. I just came from a workshop with Barbara Streisand and Carrie Fisher. I had just sold my first mandala. I had 2 mandalas ordered. So now I went up to this bookstore. I bought all the books of mandalas, and I'm reading one. And the one I'm reading is about this Dr. Beverly Schaefer. In these 2 years, she healed herself through mandala paintings. So it's another thing about mandalas. They're very, very, very healing. And you can use the mandala to uplift yourself if you're depressed, to calm yourself down if you're too hyper, to uplift yourself if you need it. The mandala has all those capacities. There's many parts of it that have deep meaning other than just painting yourself, you know, just the painting itself. So I'm in this bookstore. I bought these books. I'm reading the book by Dr. Beverly Schaefer, and that woman changed my life, because I called her on the phone, and she wasn't doing art teaching, but I convinced her, and I told her what had happened to me, that she'd take me on as a student. So I did, and it was expensive. Wasn't cheap. And when I went to her house, you probably have heard of Beverly Hills here in Southern California. It's where all the wealthy people live. A lot of actors, actresses, they all live there. So anyway, I drove up to Beverly Hills, and here's this unbelievably giant house. I mean, it had tennis courts, it had orchards. I mean, this woman was incredibly wealthy. And so I went, knocked on the door, met her. She was much older than I was. And so she took me on for a student. So I drive to Beverly Hills once a week for 3 or 4 months. And I studied with this woman. And when I looked at the walls of her house, they were all covered with beautiful paintings, lots and lots of mandalas, lots of beautiful things she's brought back from trips all over the world. And so while I was there, she was training me in the value and the purpose and the goodness that you can find in mandala paintings for a life. It was a beautiful training. And then after 3 months, I said, Beverly, I've learned all your techniques, but I don't want to do your type of painting unless it's okay for me to use what you've taught me. And she said she gave me a beautiful gift. She said, well, you're the only person that's come along like this. So why don't you just take the mandala and take what I've taught you, and you take it out to the world and see what it does. So I was most grateful, because she wasn't a mandala painter. She only did this to heal. And then so here's, if we look at the story, first I was at this workshop with these very, very famous women. And then a week later, I was studying with a woman who happened to be a therapist. And I was learning about the mandala all in a matter of a few weeks. And so this was the second big moment for me with mandalas. Not only did it start with the feminine, but now I'm in the top of the world in a beautiful home with another very conscious, very educated woman. And so symbolically, what this is the beginning of a life that the female is more important than the male. So basically, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that the feminine, or the heart, began to open up, and it became more valuable, more important, and more in a relationship with me. This is the English a statement that says, hey, following your heart, right? So this is how it happened for me. This was not some wish. I never saw it coming. It just happened on its own. But my heart really opened, and I started following the feminine, and I started realizing that my life had been masculine first, feminine second, which is still like that in most places in the world. I'm sure it's like that where you live. It's definitely like it where I live here in the United States. But once the heart opened and I was following my heart, then my life changed, my world changed, my relationship changed, and my relationship to the mother or the heart or the soul all changed. So this was the second very important situation that happened to me while I was slowly learning to be a mandala teacher. The next thing that happened right after this is I started to get really happy. And I got so happy. My relationship that I was married at the time, I had 2 children. My relationship wasn't set up for me to be so happy and to have a relationship with something other than my wife. And my relationship with art became stronger. And we both realized that this was a different path for me. And so the next big thing that happened was I got a divorce. And the divorce was from being conventional, being part of society that has a job, that goes to work 9 to 5, one of the straight means of society. So what this did is it gave me a big turn in my life. It changed my life radical. And I began to paint. And I used to take walks on the beach, and I was so happy. I just was painting. That's all I had. I had a little bit of money because we sold a house. So I didn't have to work right away or make a living. And all I did was paint for, I think I painted the first, when I started, 120 days straight. That's all I did is paint all day, take walks on the beach, eat good food. And along came a man that I'd met, and he asked me, "Why are you so happy? What's happening?" And I had said, "Hey, I started painting mandalas, and I have this amazing experience going on." And he asked me, he said, "Well, why don't you come and teach us?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I'm not a teacher." And he says, "What do you mean you're not a teacher? You'll be a teacher." And so he convinced me. He says, "I'll get 10 people together. Well, I'll give you $100 each for one day. And we want to learn what you're learning." So I went out and I bought the things I needed. And I went to this house, and there was 10 people there. And at that time it was many years before I did a painting workshop. At that time, it was just drawing. And I did that for many, many years, drawing, having people draw and color in mandalas when they don't have the time to paint. And so as I learned that day, the first day when I was painting, was the fact that the people, they got it. They felt the energy. They cried, they laughed, they had a transformative experience. And so that's what launched me as a teacher. So that was the next big thing. First is the 2 famous women, then it's meeting this teacher that lives way up in Beverly Hills. And then the next part after that was becoming a teacher. And then how did the teaching get going? Because after that first class, I knew that I could probably teach. And I got excited about it. So I thought maybe I could paint and then teach, and then paint and teach at the same time, as that's what I was doing in those days. And so I made a phone call around the country. I've been doing lots and lots of spiritual workshops. Like I mentioned earlier, my teacher, Brew Joy. I was doing lots of workshops with Brew Joy, and I'd met a lot of people. So I got on the phone and I called all around the country to people I'd met and said, "Hey, I want to come to your town On a Friday night, we'll have a free potluck. Saturday, if people want to come just Saturday, then they can do, I call it Discover Your Created Universe. And then if they have time to come Sunday, then they can do Discovering Your Soul Mandala. And so I set up a schedule all around the country. And for the next 6 months, every couple of weeks, I would get on a plane, go to another city, have a nice potluck, do a day of creative painting, creative thinking. And then on Sunday, do Discovering Your Soul's Mandala. And then on Monday, if you wanted a soul reading, or if you wanted to buy a painting or order a painting, people, I'd go to one of these workshops, say with 10 people, and 2 or 3 people would order personalized mandalas. And so within about 1 year after going through a divorce and starting to paint every day, I was already selling art. I was traveling around the country, and the whole mandala world just opened up to me. It's like magic. It all happened just beautifully. So one of the things I love to do is share in the actual act of painting, because there's a real joy that I have and that one has when you paint, but it's a bigger joy to have other people feel that joy. So the call of the teacher, it kind of just happened organically, happened naturally. Nothing was planned. It just happened on its own. And the whole idea of becoming an artist when I was in my 30s was impossible. By the time I got to 40, I was thinking it could possibly happen. And then in my early 40s, and for the last 33 years, I'm busy. I'm all the time busy. I'm working on stuff here in my studio. One of the things I love to do also is repair deities, like deities of Buddha. I have a Buddha right here, a Shiva next to me that I'm working on. I have a Buddha right there, probably from Thailand, and then a beautiful Shiva from India. And so the mandala life has been a wonderfully successful life. I live here in a beautiful Laguna Beach, and I've been busy for 30 straight years with art. It just doesn't stop. It's an amazing experience, and several of the people that have come and painted with me have become mandala teachers, and their life has been incredibly changed. All right, Santa, what's anything next?
OK， 大家都聽到 Paul 老師講咗好多佢自己個人嘅故仔，從佢以前佢係開個 serve shop， 就係買呢啲 serving 嘅用具嘅呢啲 shop。老師好中意 serving 嘅沖浪嘅，後尾佢就識咗呢個 Blue Joy 嚇。其實以前我哋都上過佢嘅堂 ，Blue Joy 好出名嘅，而家都係成為天使嘅。然後之後佢就行咗呢個Soul Mandala， 仲慢慢學。And then 應該係80年代佢就開始講佢自己嘅心路歷程嘅。佢而家係美國加拿大仲有歐洲帶啲佢自己嘅 schedule 都好忙，帶好多同學去唔同嘅地方開 workshop。咁我哋係2001年就開始邀請老師到香港嚇，因為COVID 嘅原因啦，所以我哋就幾年老師冇到香港。我估今年會繼續到香港嘅，但係都想借住呢次嘅機會，請老師做一個 Zoom 嘅分享，所以大家可以了解多啲Soul曼陀羅係啲乜嘢。喺度，我想問一下大家有啲咩問題啊？大家你可 unmute 你自己任何嘅問題都可以問嘅，講任何嘅語言都可以。如果我聽得明英文啊、普通話、中文都可以嘅。那麼我就可以或者你講英文老師都聽得明。如果你更加方便打開鏡頭就更加好嘅，好冇 ？OK， 而家就開放有啲咩問題嘅時間。好，時間就交俾大家。係。
Look at my little friend here.
Oh.
I just put 3,000 crystals.
3,000 crystals on the Buddha head?
Yeah, and then look at this is the base, the bottom of it. This is my
Very-
friend. You can see how much it sparkles. Can you see it sparkle? Beautiful.
Oh,
So
you
how are
want
your work? So how
Yeah.
are your workshops going? How often do you have a painting workshop or a
for
mandala
the
workshop?
for the painting workshop? We have monthly. Every month we schedule the time. Then we have a 2 days workshop, and if some of the students they want to learn privately, then we have a private class. That is for the monthly workshop. And before we have the baby mandala, the mini one, it was weekly, but now it is discontinued. I think we are going to restart again for the mini workshop, which is weekly. Every time is maybe 3 to 5 hours. Yeah. So we try to invite more people to know, to understand what is soul mandala, so that when you are visiting Hong Kong again, then they can come to meet you and paint with you. Yes.
Yeah. it's
So
a
you
big
want
joy.
to, yeah. So you want to show us around your studio. Yeah, you have all your paints.
Okay, so
there.
you
Yeah.
you tell me if you can see things, right? Well, we'll
Yeah, we
start-
can see something of your studio.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we see this paint. Yes.
can you see that painting?
Yes, very beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, that's Buddha's mother. That's Paramitra. Then look
Okay.
at here. Can you see the Mother Mary?
Yes, this is Mother Mary and Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a blue mandala, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's a big Kuan Yin I'm working on.
This
Here's an
is
angel.
This is Angel. I think
Yeah.
I've seen him before in some of the poster. Yeah.
Yeah, Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then here's a beautiful Kali.
Yeah. So this is the Indian goddess or god, right?
Yeah, Indian goddess. This is one of the templates I bring. And this is Mother Kali. She's the protector of the feminine. And
Protector of the feminine. Okay.
protector of the feminine. And, you know, I've probably done 6 or 8 of these and they keep selling and it's beautiful because you can put all your jewelry on there. I took some of the first one I did, I took some of my mother's, she's passed on now, but I took her jewelry and put it on here.
Yes.
And Kali's very beautiful and she protects women.
Mm.
So
Because
here's
I saw the black faced goddess. I
Yeah.
was a little bit scared. Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's what I was doing. One of my students, this is her first painting.
Wow. Wow.
So she didn't want to do a black one either. She wanted to
Okay,
do a colored one.
This is a khaki one. Khaki. Yes.
Yeah, khaki. And then once in a while I do landscapes. So this is
Yeah,
kind of
landscape.
a mandala. Yeah, this is
Landscape.
kind of a landscape. And then you can see all the art supplies. I have tons of all the art supplies for all the workshops.
Yes.
And then I have a whole wall over here of crystals. Can you see that,
yeah.
Sandra? See the whole wall of
Yes.
crystals?
Yes, many
Yeah, for
crystal.
the-
We
for-
only have a mini cases. You have the jaw. We have a mini cases.
Yeah. And so here's somebody that's painting with me. This is her first mandala.
Yeah, this is a real basic one. Only
Yeah, that's the first
only
mandala.
fill with the colors.
And then right in here, you can see these are all mandalas. All of this is all mandalas, mandalas, mandalas.
So these are all the original one, or they are the copy one?
Yeah, these are all originals. Like if you sit down here and you pull something out.
Yeah, they can come here to buy, right? Can
Yeah,
bring home,
people
can
come-
take away.
Yeah, they can take away, but also when I do an art show, this is where I come to pick out the work I want for that show, you know?
Yes.
Here's one
yes.
you've done this one before, right? This Tibetan one?
Yes, I done this. I do in the red color.
Yeah, in the red color.
This is beautiful.
And then I have, they're normally on the wall up here, there's all round ones, but they're all sent to the Deepak Chopra seminar. Although I do a lot of these little round ones, just these little ones. I love these little ones.
Yes, very cute. Very
Yeah.
cute. Yes.
Little original paintings. And here's another one of those temples.
The temple, I think this is like a tantra, right?
Well, I don't think it's Tantra. This is ancient Tibetan Buddhism.
Yes.
I love doing these. I've probably done 25 of these, every different color, different sizes.
I like the one you just showed us on the first side, the colorful flowers, right? The first one?
The colorful flowers?
Yeah, the very first one you show us today, the very first one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I like this one because the colors looks very rich and very vivid and lively. I like it very much. And also,
You have that template, don't you?
I have the templates.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the students, they use these templates, but they create their different energy. But however, when I saw this one, because it is so colorful and very harmonious, I really love the feeling of the richness. And it's like a really blossom. I call this this mandala is the blossom of the flowers. Yes.
So here is a little bit of my house. Got to turn the lights on. It's early in the morning. Can you see this?
This is your house? I thought it is still in the gallery. This is your house?
Yeah, this is my house.
Yeah, I bet you got all this from Bali Island or Vietnam or Thailand.
Yep.
Mm.
That's where they come.
Yes,
and then in
cool.
here, here's where I
Wow,
have all
cool.
my beautiful
Yeah,
paintings.
this is good. Yeah.
See, this is Saraswati. She's the goddess of artists.
Mm.
And look over here. This is Durga, Kuan Yin.
Durga, yes.
Yeah,
Are they
Durga.
are they all are they more of the Indian goddess?
Both, both Indian and Buddhism. And then
Indian and
here's, you've been to
Buddhism.
Bali. This is the spirit house.
Yeah, the Bali Island, yes.
Yeah, you know, outside all the houses, they have a spirit house like this. This was old and somebody gave it to me, so I redid the whole thing.
Now I remember in Bali Islands, there are many of the big houses.
That's
but
right.
outside there is like a guardian small houses, right?
Yeah.
It's like a small temple outside of the house.
Yep. It's called a spirit house. And you
The
see the
spirit
little
house.
goddess in there?
Yes.
Then we have the big bell when you come in.
A big bell, okay.
And then look at
Whoa.
all the deities, you know.
Wow, you move a lot of things from Asia.
Yeah. And then look at going up my stairs.
Yeah, I like the big painting. Guess what? Because in Hong Kong, we never have that. We don't have such a
No.
big space to hang the giant mandala. I was thinking,
No.
oh, well, if I have a big house, I will do that.
And then I have, is my mother.
Ah, she's
And
so
there-
beautiful. She's very
And there's
beautiful.
my father. That's when they were in art school. These are in 1950s.
You know, your father reminds me of the Dr. Zhivago of the movie.
Yeah. And so here
Oh, you have a
is
big,
my house.
big living room, huh?
Yeah. The last house I was in, Lori, and remember they came and stayed there.
Yeah, Laurie and Tina, I remember they told me that they went to your house to be assistant to paint for you, right?
Yeah.
Not this
you see-
house, the other house, right? Yeah, I like
Yeah.
this one. I like this pen. This pen is beautiful. You just show, yeah. This is a very big and giant and very colorful. But what can we do? Because in Asia, in Hong Kong, people the students even they pen, but they don't bring home. They put all the canvas in the center because everybody they said they don't have a space to keep in their house. So
Yeah.
so when I see the
Yeah.
big giant mandala, I was kind of jealous.
Look at my roommate Shiva.
Shiva.
Yeah, and this is from Bali Island here.
Did you
That's
remember?
Guru.
Yeah, did you remember that you bought the Saraswati? Yes, what's her name?
Yeah, Saraswati. Remember that beautiful Saraswati?
Yeah, Saraswati. Where is she? Because I still got the copy, but you got the original one. Where
No,
is
but
she?
I sold the original.
You saw original one. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Because I remember you spent a fortune for the Saraswati.
But it was still such a beautiful experience because almost everybody in the group got a Saraswati.
Yes, I remember. Yes, we got
Yeah.
the copy one. Yes. Actually, we have 2 times of the retreat, spiritual soul mandala retreat in Bali Island. But last time, I remember that we went to Ubu, and he is your friend. He owns the Bali Island of the hotel. But you told me that he doesn't own the hotel there, or he discontinued the business.
He didn't, he discontinued that. He didn't own it. And that man has died in Bali. He died during COVID.
Okay, so we can now back to that place to have another retreat.
No, yeah, we can go back to the place. Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
It was just a beautiful place.
Yes, I think that was a very beautiful memory, because in Ubu, where you took us to the villages of all the artists, they gather together there, and I enjoy living in the resort there in the Ubu.
Yeah, it was lovely. Very, very lovely.
So that's a very, very beautiful memory. I think wait for your return back to Hong Kong this year to have more people to know what is a soul mandala. Then if they love this mandala of this artwork, the journey to our soul, then maybe by next year we can go to Bali Island again. I'm not sure this year we can go there.
Bali.
I love Bali, yeah. But if we have enough people, we still can plan the trip for Bali Island if this year. How do you think about that?
Next year.
Next year, okay. This year back to Asia first. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, good.
Exactly.
Good.
Okay, so what else would you like to know?
Yeah, 大家有啲咩問題啊？因為今日大部分都係老師同大家分享，咗我同佢講呢啲我哋大家之前嘅記憶嚇，呢啲回憶嚇。大家有啲咩問題想問？我知道今日有啲第一次大部分都係第一次見老師嘅，聽老師講古仔嘅嚇。David 係識老師嘅嚇，其他人好似都唔識嘅啊。我唔知呢個 Carrie 係咪識老師，我唔知嘅。所以想睇下大家有啲咩問題係，或者有啲咩嘢想分享，大家開聲好冇？但開音，如果開鏡頭得唔得？麻煩大家係啦。I'm now asking if they have any question to ask you or anything to share. Yeah, and if they are convenient to turn on their camera so you can see them. Yes. Hello. Hi. David 你講啲嘢啊，因為大家都好似好怕醜啊。Pamela 有啲咩嘢想講啊？David 有啲咩嘢想講係啦，係邊一位講嘢係啦？
How Paul?
Hi.
Hello. I miss you.
Yeah. Been a long time.
With me. Yes, you give me the book, The Divine Forces, right? Do you have a new one? After all these years of painting, do you have a new book outside?
Do I have a little what?
New book. Do you have new book?
A new book.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm actually working on one now, but I do have a book. I have lots of mandala coloring books. I have actually 7 of them.
Oh,
that
good.
I've made for people that when I come, I'll bring some.
Okay, that's good.
They're from Europe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But I am doing a book. I'm doing a book about all the stuff I was talking about how my life has changed and all the people I've met. I am doing a book. One day there will be a book out, probably in the next year. Next year. That's my kind of goal.
One like your book is that actually other than all this painting, you have some. I noticed that you have some teachings about spirituality and also some journey, your discovery on the path of spirituality, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like this one because usually when I see the art book, they talk about the history of the painter and some concept, etc. But your books is also about the spiritual path. And I remember that you have many famous people helping you to write.
Davy, I'm losing you. I cannot hear you. Davy, can you repeat again?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Unlike most of the painting book, art book, right? Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear.
Unlike most of the painting books, your painting books is very special because you mention a lot about spirituality and also many different religions and the quote from some of the famous spiritual teachers. I think it's a combination of artwork as well as the spiritual book, I think. So
Do
it's
you
quite
have that
special
one?
for me.
You're
Yes,
talking about
that
the
one.
book, the
Yes,
Divine
the book
Mandala.
called Divine Forces, Art That
Yeah.
Awakened the Soul. I don't
Yeah.
know, is this the which one is the early book or is a
Yeah, that was an early book, and the only way you can buy that one now, or people want, is online on Amazon, on used books. I see it on there a few times, but the next book will be like that one, but only thicker and better.
yeah. Actually, I want to buy your books.
Yeah, well, a lot of
Yeah,
people do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
will
noticed, yes, okay.
go ahead. You
I
noticed?
noticed that in the book, in your earlier book, you paint a lot about different kind of religions. Okay, is there any
Yeah.
changes in your style of painting mandala recently?
No changes, although every single painting has its own change in it. You know,
Okay.
whether I'm doing a one that's just coming from my heart, or whether I'm doing like a Buddhist mandala, each painting has kind of its own life, its own soul. Every painting is different. Even though if you're doing one like one you've already done, it still will be different. It's still, you can't really copy it. You can, the word is interpret. You can make how the painting feels to you at the same time. But the beauty of the mandala is you can go into a Buddhist mandala, you could make one of your own, or you can go into something you've seen in the world. But at the same time, everyone has its own life. Everyone is individual. And that's the beautiful thing about an artist's path. Like I've been doing this now for over 30 years. And if you look back through time, you can see my path, where I was, how the paintings changed. And anybody that's going to be creative, that's what's really important. I think the word they use is opus. Opus is OPUS. That's your life, what your life path. And so for me, it's just been the mandala path. One of the amazing things is when I first started doing this, nobody thought I could earn a living. You know, thought, no way, you can't, you know. And here it is 30 plus years later, and it's been wonderful. I mean, I'm selling work every other day. I sold a couple of prints yesterday. I sold an original the day before that. And it's just never stopped. It's a really beautiful thing. It's amazing to me how once you find, it's like a stream, if you know what the word is. Once you find your stream or your pattern, then it just unfolds incredibly fast. And all of a sudden, one day you realize that this is what you were supposed to be doing in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you think about NFT? People talk about this frequently.
You know, I've never. You're talking about the frequency. Is that the word you used?
No. Actually, many people talk about NFT recently. What do you think about that?
Well, I haven't done it that way. You're talking about visions, right?
NFT.
Spell that.
NFT NFT is a kind of digital art.
Yeah.
People sell, as a token, etc. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I have never done that, but have you experienced it? Have you tried it?
No. I just heard of it. Because
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, there's a change in that many gallery, other than the original kind of gallery, there appear some NFT gallery. They publish some of the digital art, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that computer art made on the computer looks very good on a computer, but when it comes out in the form of paint, it has much more of a feel to it. So digital art looks great in movies. It looks great on computer screens, but when you print it out, it's not the same as somebody that's taken a paintbrush and painted something. There's a lot more feel to making art. There's one artist once way back in the Renaissance days said every painting has a soul. And when you do digital art and you print it out, it doesn't have a soul. It's just not the same. It's beautiful to look at. I love visionary art, but there's just something about making a painting and a relationship with that painting. And then when somebody comes along and falls in love with it and buys it, then whatever that painting is holding, that person has felt it and they've connected it. Somebody once said,
I totally agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. If you really love a painting, it's like there's a rainbow from your heart to the heart of the painting. There's a connection. And I see mandalas as coming from the inside out, showing the inside on the out. And the reason there's a focus in the center is because it's bringing you into a meditative practice. Just by painting a mandala or looking at a mandala or coloring in a mandala, all of those things expand your awareness and open up your soul. So it's a very beautiful, magical way to have a transformation in life. For me, I'm called towards, like the Dalai Lama once said, enlightenment is just knowing that there's a light and heading towards it. So on my path, my spiritual path with the art has given me a way to head towards enlightenment. And that's just been my practice all along. Yeah, it's been an awesome life. It still is. It's just awesome. I love what I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, me too. Maybe in the next trip. Huh?
You've grown up since I saw you.
You saw me?
Well, when was the last time we were there? You were in one of the classes, right?
Yeah.
On your class, yes.
David, you grow up. You mature, of course. You got married, of course.
I got yes.
Yes.
Last time we met, Paul. I'm still single.
Yes.
I remember.
I'm married for 5 years already.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to join your Bali trip if there's one.
Bali trip will be next year, sooner. Yes, will be next year. Yes.
My wife and I love Bali as well, and we also go to Bali, Ubud, the same place as yours.
Ubud,
and we enjoy the time here very much. We spent a couple of weeks here before.
Cool. Yes. Cool.
Ubud.
Yes. Ubud.
Yes.
Yes. Good. So okay. So does anyone has any question to share? 大家有啲咩問題想問老師啊？係啦，盡量問問題，因為今日有好多新朋友第一次見老師，大部分都係新朋友。 Candice 或者 Pamela 有啲咩問題想問啊？因為你哋領會畫過曼陀羅啦，有啲咩問題想問啦？仲有係啦，仲有 Jovi 啊 ，Carrie 張 Carrie 張 ，Crystal Candice 啊，大家有啲咩問題啊？或者係啦，Pamela 係啦，你開勁啦，係啦，係啊，可以問老師問題係啦。
Hi, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I draw the mini mandala from center, so I really love it.
Yeah.
I just saw your painting. It's so gorgeous and so beautiful, amazing.
Yeah.
My only question is, when we can learn the mandala printing from you? It's really looking forward.
Yes. Well, it's going to happen soon, sometime
Yeah.
this year. And Santa will let you know as soon as we have a date scheduled.
Wow, that would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that behind you? That looks like a painting you're standing in front of.
I think I have a photo. I forgot.
Huh? What's that? What's that?
It's gold. It's like gold. It's got texture on it.
It's like a
Yeah.
gold tree, like a
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah, I think in the Christmas time, I just took the photo with a flower shop, something like that. I really love it. I love the colorful things and the lights.
The photo. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
really agree. When we paint the mandala, it's really open the hearts. I really love it and find my creativity creativity, yeah. After learn the painting of mandalas, so I really love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, don't
Yeah.
stop. Keep going. Keep making sure Santa teaches classes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep on painting. Keep on painting. Yes.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yes. Welcome. We love more and more people come to join and experience the soul mandala. Yes. So that's why we have this today's a mini sharing from Paul. Actually, I told all the students here that it's the first time that we connect with Paul via Zoom because we do a lot of Zoom classes. But Paul is always busy. I cannot get hold of him. Very difficult to get hold of him.
Very busy.
Very busy. So it's a very precious time with Paul. Yes.
It's nothing personal, Santa. It's just that so many people try to get in touch with me that I have to kind of hide a little bit. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I'd be on the phone all day long and I couldn't paint. So it's good.
No problem.
You're one of my dear friends. So
of course, we know that. I mean, me and Davey and Pamela, we have all the people here. We are so family. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll look forward to reconnecting with each one of those people. The fact that they still remember me, it's been a long time.
Yes,
and,
some of the people, they still remember you, like Maria, of course, because Maria, and the thing
what's
is,
she doing?
Yeah, she is. I think she is having her own very small studio in North Point, and then she and by the part time she's working in the holistic center, and she selling the raw food and the organic center, something like that. But other times she is having her own studio, very small one, and teaching some people come to her. So actually I invited Maria, and but Hong Kongese people, you cannot imagine how busy we are.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we need 1 month ahead to do the booking. But again, people, they will forget. So Maria, she's busy, but they require for the recording. And also I reach Jessica and Stella. They are also busy because today is Buddha's birthday. Today. Yes.
Oh, no.
So that's why people, they went outing or they went to the temple, they do worshiping, they do a lot of ceremony. So people, they are busy. And also I reach, Charmaine and I think Samantha and the other lady is Rita. They require that when you come before, must tell them. But the thing is that because the Hong Kongese people, we are so busy. So maybe we need 2 months prior notice.
Yeah,
2 months
at
ahead.
least.
Yes,
months
2
for
months,
sure.
yes. Because you are visiting, you are coming from overseas. So we also here, we need time to prepare, to arrange the time.
Yeah.
2 months prior. So please.
Yeah.
Okay lah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes. Okay lah. Yes.
All right. Well, I want to
yes.
thanks everybody for staying up. I know it's late at night there, but
Yeah.
it's early morning here.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go jump in the hot tub as soon as we're done.
OK， 大家仲有其他嘅問題？其他人有冇問題想問啦？Amy 啊，仲有 Susan， 仲有 Jovi 嚇，仲有邊一位有想問問題啊 ？Carrie 啊 ，Crystal、Candice、Jenny 係邊一位想問問題啊？如果你唔方便出鏡，你出聲都可以㗎。大家邊一位想問問題啊？好似大家都好忙。蘇生有冇問題想問啊？或者有啲咩疑問想問老師啊？蘇生 or Jovi？ Looks like everybody is very quiet.
I think this is a perfect time to finish.
Yes, no problem. Yeah. So Paul, it's so lovely to have you here, and we look forward for your maybe next time of a sharing or your earliest trip arrangement to Hong Kong. So that we can reconnect. Yes.
I'm going to send you the DVD.
Yeah, the DVD,
so
yes.
Yeah, and I only have 3 or 4 left. They're all gone now.
You mean
so
the DVD? Okay.
I'm sending you one of it. I'm going to send it today.
Okay, no problem. You just send me. But actually, you don't need to send me a DVD. If you have any video, you can send me via email or anything. You can, so we can view and then we can cut and paste it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you. Thank you for your lovely time. Thank you for all of you. And we look
all.
forward to see you next time. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.